Greetings, Fright fans, and welcome into day 11 of our Howling Halloween countdown. I'll tell you, we've hit some of the biggies here these last few days. We did Curse of the Werewolf yesterday and an American Werewolf in London the day before, and we started it out with the Howling, so some of the biggies and the best have already been knocked out. But there's lots more good stuff dead ahead, and to find out what we're going to talk about tonight, we will consult our giant jack-o'-lantern. So Jack, what are we going to talk about tonight? Let's see. Let's look inside our tiny one here and see what we're going to look at. All right, tonight we're going to look at Wolfman, but not the one you're thinking. Tonight's Howling Halloween entry is Wolfman, not to be confused with the Universal classic The Wolfman, however. This one is the 1979 independent film Wolfman. This film was written and directed by Worth Keeter and stars Earl Owensby, who starred in a string of self-produced horror and action pictures. In this one, Earl plays Colin Glasgow, who returns to his family home just after his father has died. It turns out there's a family curse brought on by a coven of witches, which is being passed along to the next eldest member of the family, Colin. While in town, he reconnects with his old flame, Lynn, and the two begin spending time together. In addition to the house, he's also inherited the curse of becoming a werewolf under a full moon. His grandmother warns him of the family curse and of a surefire way to prove his father had the disease. Exhume his body and look at his hands. The index finger of the werewolf will be longer than all the others. While at his father's grave, he is attacked by a wolf and begins to accept his fate. Sure enough, the next evening he changes into a werewolf and attacks a local couple and kills them. He has no choice but to realize he is indeed a werewolf and to try to somehow escape the family curse. This is a seriously low-budget picture and has to be approached with that in mind in order to appreciate it. It is slow-paced and plodding, but seems deliberately so, working at its own pace. It was ambitious on the budget, or lack of one, for this film to tackle a period piece like this. The werewolf transformation looked pretty good though, and the makeup design looked good too. The acting is very spotty, even bad in places, but it just doesn't matter. The charm is in the end result, and for me, I love that something like this exists. A handful of folks had a vision and saw it through to its fur-faced completion. You gotta admire that. 3 Skulls. Wolfman, Earl Owensby, 3 Skulls. I tell you what, I got to admire this movie. Earl clearly was working on a lesser budget, nowhere near Hollywood standards, but he did not let that stop him. He made what was obviously a labor of love, made the werewolf movie that he wanted to make. He didn't let the lack of Hollywood equipment and Hollywood budget stop him. He made a period piece that was a werewolf movie and had him cast himself in the lead role, just like, kind of Paul Naschy would do in Spain. He made his own werewolf movie, cast himself in the lead role, and I think it turned off pretty good, all things considered. I know it's got some flaws, but I kind of like it because of that. It just shows that it's an independent movie, a labor of love, and it's one that I appreciate in a lot of ways. And I think it's a pretty good movie, pretty solid movie. 3 Skulls. Average on the 5-skull rating, 3 out of 5 skulls, but definitely one worth tracking down, one of the more unique independent films in the genre. So check out Wolfman. Let me know what you guys think. I know a lot of people don't like it because, like I said, it does have flaws, a little slow in places, but I appreciate it because of those, because it just shows the independent nature of this film, and I dig it. So Wolfman, 3 Skulls, check it out, and be sure and come back tomorrow night and we'll talk about more werewolf films right here in the Mad Lab. Until then, Dr. Gangrene saying, stay mad.